Hey everybody, and welcome to the first ever Cut the Bullshit video blog. I'm your host, Big Rich. And this is going to be a weekly video blog where I give my opinion and we have discussion on, this week in the news, music, sports, pop culture, or any other topic that I think's interesting. If you have any questions, comments, negative, positive, I want to hear them. You can get at me at Twitter. My Twitter handle is at Rich Byford. Once again, that's at Rich Byford. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get on to this week's topics. Topic number one was kind of a big deal this week. I know it was covered by TMZ and a lot of other things, and all the big media was picking it up. Was come to find out Justin Bieber smoking weed. Now, aside what your personal opinion of Justin Bieber might be, whether you like his music or don't, that doesn't really matter. What was in the news this week was he was caught in a picture where they zoomed in on the picture and he had a blunt in his hand. Clearly, he was smoking some marijuana. I just wanted to point out a few things because I know that his mother went on record for saying she was upset. And people are thinking that it's the Disney Channel curse, kind of goody two shoes thing where he hits 18, he starts making bad decisions like Lindsay Lohan or Britney Spears or anything like that. So I just wanted to point out a few things that for one, he's 18 years old. I was 18 years old. I was smoking pot. Not exactly a big secret. Most of you that know me know I was smoking pot, out of high school and whatnot. So I mean, he's partying with his friends at 18 years old in LA. What do you think they're going to be doing? Drinking wine coolers? Like, get the fuck over yourself. Like, smoking weed is going to happen in America when you are a young adult. I think it's become less and less taboo. And I mean, for the media to make such a big deal out of it, and you wonder why, people don't want to legalize marijuana. And that's a whole nother, topic that I don't want to get into. But, it's it is what it is. He's young. He's 18 years old. It's not like he's a child. No one's gonna get in trouble for it. He can't get in trouble for it. You know. Number two, he's fucking filthy rich. So if his life does go down the shitter because he's smoking a little weed, it's not exactly like he's gonna be broke and destitute. Okay, And then another thing that was kind of bothering me was a lot of people were trying to pin the blame on a young African American rapper that Justin Bieber's been hanging out with quite a bit by the name of Little Twist. Um, Here's the thing. You can't blame, because he's hanging out with someone with another race or because he's hanging out with a kid who's a known rapper. Justin Bieber is an entertainer. He was hanging out with other entertainers. In fact, if you look at the pictures on TMZ, he was around a bunch of white people. They blurred out a white dude's face next to him. They blurred out a pretty white girl's face in another picture next to him. So clearly, it was not him. He's not around troublemakers. He's not around. People can't blame it on influence of a different race or a different lifestyle. And I think that come on, we live in 2013. Are people really still trying to blame things on other races? I think that's a little far fetched. So yeah, Justin Bieber, you want to smoke some weed, man? Fucking pass the Dutchie on the left hand side, all right? Like fuck it. Go about your day. If that's what you want to do, then fuck it, do it. Do you, Justin Bieber? Do you? So on to the next big topic this week, all over the media is Kim Kardashian is pregnant with Kanye West baby. Now, while a lot of people, and I'm sure a lot of you women are fans of the E Network, and watch the whole conglomerate of Kardashian shows, I think there's a key element here we need to keep in mind. She's still legally married to another man. So, you know, if this was anyone else, if it was not Kim Kardashian, it was any other actress, any other kind of celebrity, or anyone in general, normal people that you might know in your daily life, and in these were the same circumstances, how many of you would be calling that person a skank? Does it not seem a little, ratchet, that she's pregnant with Kanye West baby, yet she's legally married to another man? Now, if I were her, They say she's 12 weeks along now. That's a good 3 months. So I mean, come on, give Chris Humphries the fucking money he wants, finalize your divorce, and then announce you're pregnant. I think it makes her look like a fucking skank. I mean, not that the sex tape with Ray J didn't, but still, I mean, this takes it up a whole nother level. You know what I mean? You don't see Paris Hilton pregnant with one dude's baby and legally married to another. You know how much heat that white bitch you get for that? I mean, come on, let's be honest. So, I mean, if it was anybody else, people would be screaming skank, fucking whore, things of that nature. And so, I don't know, it feels very skankish to me that, all of a sudden she's happy she's pregnant with Kanye West baby and she's still legally married to Chris Humphries. Which, Chris Humphries, you're a fucking sucker, dude. Like, let's be honest, man. God, if a woman tried to pull the shenanigans on me like Kim Kardashian did to you, I would not be a happy camper. And I don't know too many guys that would be either. So, anyway, enough on that. Kim Kardashian, quit being a skank. Quit finding new ways to bring your skank notch up a bit. It's out of control. On to the next thing that made the news this week. The Octo Mom is back on welfare. Apparently, she was able to get off of public assistance back early on in 2012. She was making a living doing showcases and dancing at strip clubs across the country. And she was also doing some masturbation porn. Now, here's the thing about it. I'm a taxpayer. I'm sure everybody watching here is a taxpayer as well. And with that being said, she's getting $1,800 a month in food stamps, or the equivalent of $1,000 a month in emergency cash. Which fuck, if the government wants to give me $1,000 in emergency cash, I'll be happy to fucking take it. But I don't see that happening for me. I don't think it's happening for you. So, as well as obviously the medical that comes with it and whatnot. So, my advice to the Octo Mom, get back to porn and knock it off with the masturbation porn. No one's going to pay on a website to see you play with yourself. You need to be fucking some dudes on camera, on film, and you need to be getting paid for it. You need to do whatever it takes to, provide for your children. I think that's a very important thing. Growing up on welfare the majority of my childhood, it's not something that, I don't think we all should be just rushing to do. I think when, you have children, and especially as many children as her, dude, go find someone to marry. Like, what is wrong with you? Go find a dude with a job, get hitched. Go back to porn, get a paycheck. Is that so hard to ask for? I mean, I understand when it's real young moms, 16 to, 22, 23, you're on your own and you got some kids and you need to take care of them and, you need a little help. That's alright. But when you got as many kids as she does and you have as many opportunities as she does, given her level of celebrity, and I say that very vaguely because, I mean, she shouldn't be a celebrity, but she is. Let's face it. So, I mean, get out there and get a paycheck, woman. If that means taking some fucking dick on camera, take some fucking dick on camera and get a paycheck. And so that's my take on that. On to the next one that made some news this week. Rex Ryan, the coach of the New York Jets. He's a freaky motherfucker. I'm just gonna throw that right out there and say it. He has a tattoo on his right arm of his wife wearing a Mark Sanchez jersey. Now, for those who don't know, Rex Ryan is the head coach of the New York Jets. Mark Sanchez is the fucking quarterback, and he has a tattoo of his wife wearing nothing but a Jets jersey with the number 6, which is Mark Sanchez's number. Rex Ryan, you are a freaky motherfucker. Like, that's so fucking creepy, dude. What happens if you go and coach for another NFL team? You still have a tattoo of your wife wearing a Jets jersey with the number of your quarterback. You freaky fuck. And I'm gonna leave it at that. On to the next topic, which, Jesus Christ, man. All through November, December, and now coming into January, Cat Williams, the comedian, has been in the news quite a bit. For those of you that don't know, he slapped a Target employee, and they caught that on camera. He went on a slow speed pursuit chasing some kind of moped or maybe an electric scooter that you might see your grandmother, your grandfather driving, in the grocery store, and he got his children taken away from him because he had guns and drugs in his home. So his children are now in protective custody with the state of California, and he was also arrested at that time. Within 4 hours of him being bailed out of jail, he is in a nightclub brawl with him and his business manager, Suge Knight. Suge Knight being from Death Row Suge Knight, hang Vanilla Ice over a balcony, you know, type of Suge Knight, So, Cat Williams, put down the crack pipe. Like, honestly, man, put the crack pipe down. Your crackhead habits are finally catching up to you. Now, am I surprised it's taken 10, 12 years of you being a celebrity for your crack addiction to come full on and really take over your life? I'm very surprised it's taken this long. In fact, I was expecting this 5, 6 years ago. But here's the thing, man. You're a very talented comedian. And you're funny as fucking shit, dude. But fuck, man. I know a lot of people say they're a product of their environment. So you can take the person out of the hood, but you can't take the hood out of the person. But can you take the crack pipe away from the crackhead? And I think that's really what it comes down to for Cat Williams. Can you put the crack pipe down? Can you stop with the ghetto fucking shit and make your money? You have so many opportunities, man. So many. And you're fucking it up, dude. You're fucking up your life with your children. You're fucking up your career. And while you're at it, fire Suge Knight. Why the fuck is he your business manager? Okay? I mean, really? Suge Knight? And plus, you don't even want to be in a fight with Suge Knight on your side. I mean, he got knocked out by a barber, by a nobody, and then the barber was on YouTube the next day fucking talking about it. Like, Suge Knight's weak as shit now. This ain't the 90s no more, Suge Knight. Ain't nobody scared of you. I'll keep it real. Ain't nobody scared of you. Come around my way. I ain't gonna, I might give you the nod and say, what up, Suge Knight? But man, fuck you. I'm not gonna go tremble in my shit. You know what I mean? So, Cat Williams needs to make some hard decisions. And he needs to figure his shit out. And, best of luck to him. I hope he comes back funny as shit. And I hope maybe all of this will give him a bunch of fuckload of material to talk about in his act. Granted he ever comes back to stand up. So, on to some other things. Me being the way, way big pro wrestling fan that I am, Hulk Hogan, Hulkamania, what you gonna do, brother? That kind of thing. He's re-suing Gawker Media and Heather Clem, who is the ex-wife of Bubba the Love Sponge, for the sex tape that was released of her and Hulk Hogan having sex. That bitch, as hot as she is, man, she knew she was going to release that video and try to make a buck off of it eventually. And Bubba the Love Sponge, dude, you're not innocent either, dude. Like, come on, it is your house. You paid for it. That's your guest room. You know that hidden camera was there. I mean, and the fact that you spent 2 years telling Hulk Hogan it was cool to fuck your wife, and after 2 years he finally took you up on that. Like, you were in there and you left them alone in that room to fuck. Like, how creepy are you, dude? Like, really? That's so fucking creepy, dude. Like, I'm not going up to my buddies and telling my buddies, to fuck my girlfriend. And I don't got anybody coming to me and telling me to fuck their wives. I think that it's fucking cruddy, dude. Like, if I could give advice to anyone, don't fuck your buddy's wife. Because shit like this happens. You get a sex tape released, and I mean, granted, she had nothing but nice things to say about him in the sex tape. The minute that Gawker Media actually showed. But I mean, it's like, he didn't get paid from the video. You know what I mean? He didn't even know the video existed. And I guess now there's reports that there are actually two videos now, and you know, best of luck to him. You know, I hope he wins the lawsuit. You know, because if someone secretly taped me having sex with their wife, which would never happen, but if it were to happen, I'd want a payday if it's going to get released. Especially if she had nothing but nice things to say. And you know, I'll leave it at that. Good luck to him. Get paid, man. Your ex-wife took 75% of the money you had while you were married. So I mean, fuck, dude, get your paper up, get your bread right. You know. On to some music topics now. New rapper out named Trinidad James. He has a song called All Gold Everything. It's fucking annoying. The guy looks like the crackhead from New Jack City, which, if I remember correctly, that was Chris Rock who played that. Yeah, you remember the guy that freaking Ice T chased around in New Jack City and used him and ended up getting him killed by Wesley Snipes? Yeah, that's what this rapper looks like. I mean, his teeth's fucked up, his hair's fucked up, he needs to lose a few pounds. He can't rap worth the shit. He claims he's only been rapping for 10 months, gets signed a $2 million deal with Def Jam. I mean, and then on top of it, the big tagline of his song is, you know, pop the molly, I'm sweating. Which, you know, for people who don't know, molly is slang for ecstasy. And being someone who, when I was younger, when I was a teenager coming out of high school, used ecstasy quite a bit, um, I don't know, man. All these rap songs now encouraging it, I don't think it's a good idea. You know what I mean? If I could tell kids based on my own personal experience with ecstasy, I'd be like, you know what, it's not worth it. You know, the consequences could be bad. I know a couple of people now that from excessive ecstasy use are not all okay up here. So, you know, people need to think about what, you know, I'm not saying censor music. I don't want to seem like the right wing, you know, douchebag, freaking, you know, conservative, because I'm not at all. But I mean, calm down a little bit on the ecstasy talk and rap music. Just a little. It's getting to be a bit much nowadays. You know, the producer Diplo says there is going to be a 17 verse remix to this song. Alright, motherfuckers. This is not 2001, and this is not P. Diddy Presents the We Invented the Remix album. There's no reason for a 17 verse fucking remix about a, a song about ecstasy. It's just fucking outrageous. You know, 17 verses. Is it gonna go like 20, 25 minutes? You know what I mean? And that's if you give everyone a hot 16 bars to spit. Really? I'm not gonna listen to a 20-minute song about ecstasy. I'm sorry. And these kids shouldn't be either. Other music news: Lil Wayne got baked tattooed on his forehead. And apparently it's in the block letters in the design of the Baker Skateboarding Company, but it says baked. Number one, Lil Wayne, I hope you are committed to smoking weed for the rest of your life. You know, getting that on your head, everyone's going to see it. You can't quit smoking weed now at 40 because you're not going to be 50, 65 years old, people asking you, well, why the fuck do you have baked tattooed on your goddamn head and you don't even smoke weed? Like, what? What is that? That's not. You have to be committed to smoking weed for the rest of your goddamn life now. If you don't, why the did you get that tattooed on your face? You know, and plus it looks a lot like the Baker Skateboarding Company logo. So if he hasn't gotten a check from that yet, he needs to go collect some money. If not, you're a fucking idiot for getting a company's logo, the likeness of a company's logo tattooed on your face without collecting a paycheck. You know, it's kind of important. You know. Anyway, last topic for today, still pertaining to music. CNN, of all media outlets, has named Nas the greatest lyricist of all time. Now, while I will not disagree that he is part of a group of the greatest lyricists of all time, I think it is unfair to name him the greatest. And I really think that's based upon personal opinion, depending on what kind of hip hop head you talk to. But I mean, you know, if I were to give you a rough few, I would say that group would pertain of Nas, Jay Z, KRS-One, Eminem, Common, you know, lyrical rappers such as that, you know. I would put them all in a group, in a category above the rest, yes. Would I name Nas the greatest? No. And with that being said, CNN, you have no business, no fucking business trying to name the greatest lyricist of all time. CNN, you don't know what you're talking about with music. You barely know what you're talking about with the news. You know what I mean? You're not any better than Fox News now, CNN. Let's be perfectly honest about it. And we all know how fucked up Fox News is with their fucking right wing conservative bullshit, you know? So, I mean, really, CNN, don't have an opinion on music. You're not entitled to it. This is coming from a hip hop head. You're not entitled to it. Sorry. So, anyways, those are the topics for this week. If you want to have, give me your opinion, have some questions, maybe some topics you want to talk about in the next episode, or want me to talk about rather in the next episode, you can hit me up on Twitter. The handle is at Rich Byford. That's at RICHBYFORD on Twitter. Get at me. That's the quickest way to get at me. And if I like it, maybe I'll retweet it. Maybe I'll shout you out on, the next episode. So, with that being said, we will see you next week. Thanks for listening to the first ever Cut the Bullshit.